If you are like me, you might have asked yourself if the traditional retirement plan is a better option or a fully passive ETF investment for your retirement. Pension savings is a retirement savings scheme offered by the government. It allows you to put away money for retirement, in addition to the state pension. It comes with significant tax relief, making it an attractive option for those saving for retirement. But how does this compare to saving for retirement through passive investing, by investing in ETFs and index funds? Which method leads to higher results? In this video, we will be using the Belgian concept to explain the difference between these financial products. How does retirement savings work? As we said in the introduction, retirement savings is a way to put aside extra money for your pension, on top of the state pension that every worker starts receiving at the age of retirement. It's voluntary, so you can choose to contribute to a retirement savings account if you want, and it is done on an individual basis and not through your employer. Although, some employers give the opportunity to also participate in your retirement savings. When I started working, my employer gave me the option to contribute additionally to my retirement plan. How do you decide how much to set aside for your retirement savings? Every year, the state defines a maximum amount that you can contribute towards your retirement savings account for that year. This amount was set to €310 for 2024 and grows slightly every year. To start contributing to your retirement savings, you simply go to your bank and tell them that you want to set up an retirement savings account. These accounts will either be 1. An insurance. You earn a fixed interest rate every year. The return will be low but predictable. 2. A fund. The bank invests your contributions in stocks and bonds through special funds. Compared to the insurance, you can potentially achieve a higher return. But the returns are riskier because of the unpredictable markets. The great thing about retirement savings is that it offers a tax break of 25% of your contribution. For example, if you contributed the maximum amount of €310 this year, you will earn €327.50 back through your tax returns. Essentially, this means that you contributed only €982.50 out of your own pocket, and the state subsidizes the rest. If you contributed less than €990 during the year, the tax break is 30%, so it's even higher relative to your contribution. This might be slightly different from your country. But there's a twist. Indeed, as soon as you break the limit of €990, and even if you don't put in the total €310, you'll still get the 25% rebate on the total amount, meaning you should carefully consider your contribution. Here's an example. If you contribute €100 a year, you get a tax rebate of 25%, or €275. This is less than the €297 tax rebate if you had put in only €990. So if you decide to contribute more than €990 and want to maximize your tax rebate, make sure the amount is higher than €188. Let's find out why passive investing is a great way to save for retirement. Let us put our findings in a real case scenario. We'll start by using John as an example. Ever since he started working at age 23, he contributed €310 every year towards his pension. He'll do this until he reaches 65 years of age. Let's look at 3 scenarios. His contributions go towards an retirement savings insurance. For the simulation, we chose the Belfius Life Plan. This account is offered by Belfius, a major Belgian bank. Please note I don't have any affiliation or connection to Belfius. It yields a yearly interest rate of 2% as of 2023. His contributions go towards an retirement savings fund, namely the Belfius Pension Fund High Equities Fund. Using historical data, we calculated that this fund yielded a yearly return of 5.74% between 1990 and 2023. I will use this return for the simulation. His contributions go towards iShares Core S&P 500 UCITS ETF, an ETF that tracks the S&P 500 index. To account for the tax break offered by retirement savings, John contributes only €982.50 every year in this scenario. In the last 20 years, iShares Core S&P 500 UCITS ETF yielded an annual return of 9.74%. How did John's savings evolve across the three scenarios? The first observation is that all three scenarios result in a bigger pension than the sum of John's yearly contributions if he had kept them in a savings account. So both retirement savings and passive investing are a better option compared to a savings account. Secondly, it shows that passive investing wins over retirement savings in the long run. Up until the age of 35, the 25% tax break compensates for the lower return of the retirement savings fund compared to that of passive investing through iShares Core S&P 500 UCITS ETF, so the yield between the two is roughly comparable. However, after age 36, the tax break is not enough to counter the much higher return achieved through passive investing. By age 65, John can retire with the following pre-tax amount. Retirement savings insurance, €64,309.21. Retirement savings fund, €165,515.93. Passive investing in ETF, €513,102.97. Those are considerable differences. Why retirement savings funds underperform ETF? One reason why the retirement savings fund underperforms against the S&P 500 index is regulations. The Belgian state imposes rules so that retirement savings funds do not have total freedom in their investment strategy. For instance, 80% of the entire portfolio must be invested in companies and bonds from within the European Union. Such regulations reduce the possibility for diversification and therefore put a limit on the yearly return that can be achieved for these funds. A second reason are costs. Pension saving funds, which are actively managed, are a lot more expensive than index-based ETFs like iShares Core S&P 500 UCITS ETF. Whereas it costs 0.7% per year and no entry fees, the pension saving fund costs 105% per year with an entry fee of 3%. Finally, due to an 8% tax that you must pay when you reach the age of 60 for the government to be partially compensated for the yearly tax breaks, there is no free lunch. In the case of the retirement savings fund, this is strangely calculated on a fictional annual return of 4.75% instead of on the actual return of the fund. This resulted in a €9,478 loss at age 60. In our case, this rule is advantageous because the return of the fund was 5.74%, but many pension saving funds have yielded a yearly return less than 4.75%, so you end up paying more than if the end tax was calculated on the actual return. How much you're actually saving, and if it's enough to sustain your life after retirement. You pay a tax at age 60 that reduces much of the tax break. You pay hefty fees to the banks, which is probably why they like to sell these funds so much. There are other constraints to consider as well. Your savings are locked up until the age of 60. You can withdraw the funds at an earlier age, but you'll suffer a severe 33% tax penalty. Therefore, this option is not recommended. When passively investing, you're free to withdraw funds at any time, no matter the reason. Retirement savings insurances and funds have an entrance fees and are expensive, but in contrast, there are no entrance fees when passively investing, and it is cheaper. You cannot save more than the maximum imposed by the state. If you want to save more than €310 every year, you have to figure out a way to invest the excess amount through another way. In conclusion, passive investing yields a higher return than that of the retirement savings scheme offered by the state and the banks. Furthermore, it's flexible. You're not bound to the yearly limit set by the government, and you can withdraw your funds at any time. This is it for this video. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and happy investing.